Let's talk about how effective boosters are against Omicron. We have got most of the data about boosters from mRNA vaccine, but much information is not available in case of inactivated vaccines like Sinopharm vaccine, which is also known as verocell vaccine, Covaxin, and also about viral vector vaccines like Oxford AstraZeneca's Covishield or VaxZavria and Johnson & Johnson vaccine. We will talk about how these vaccines are effective against Omicron when booster dose are applied. Let's start with the mRNA vaccine. This graph is from CDC report. It shows the vaccine effectiveness against ER and urgent care. The dark blue line is for Delta and the brown line is for Omicron. After 2 doses, the vaccine effectiveness against Delta was 86% and against Omicron it was 52%. So it is pretty clear that after 2 doses, even within 6 months, the vaccine effectiveness reduces to 52% in case of Omicron. When it's more than 6 months after second dose, the vaccine effectiveness for Omicron was 38% only. However, after the third dose, that is after the booster, the vaccine effectiveness was 82% against Omicron. So, after the booster dose, the vaccine effectiveness increased to significant amount against ER and urgent care. And what about hospitalization? It was found that the vaccine effectiveness decreased to 57% from 81% when the second dose passed 6 months. But after the booster dose, the vaccine effectiveness increased to 90%. So it seems that mRNA boosters are working pretty good against hospitalization. Let's now see how boosters work against inactivated vaccine. In case of Covaxin, which is an inactivated viral vaccine made in India, antibodies against Omicron were reduced by 9.4-fold compared to the original strain, while in case of Delta, it was reduced by 1.5-fold compared to the original strain. The authors collected the blood samples from individuals 28 days after the third dose, and this third dose was given 6 months after the second prime dose. It was also found that while in case of Delta, 100% individuals had neutralizing antibody above the detectable level, in case of Omicron, only 90% individuals had antibody above detectable level. So in short, Covaxin is working against Omicron, but like other vaccines, to a lesser extent. Let's see about another inactivated vaccine commonly known as Sinopharm inactivated vaccine or verocell vaccine. The study was conducted with 292 healthcare workers who were given the third dose, that is the booster dose of Sinopharm, 8 to 9 months after the primary dose, and their blood samples were collected to see whether the antibody present in their sera can neutralize Omicron. 8 to 9 months after 2 doses and before the booster dose, only 8 individuals had neutralizing antibody against Omicron. However, after the third dose, 228 individuals had neutralizing antibody against Omicron. But the neutralizing antibody in the blood was very low, that is 20.1-fold reduction compared to original variant. However, we have to remember that antibodies are only one side of the story. T cells and memory B cells play a very important role upon reinfection. Moreover, heterologous boosters like 2 doses of inactivated vaccine and then a booster dose of mRNA vaccine might provide better immunity. But a very important question remains how long the immunity will last. Sinopharm has also developed a new recombinant protein vaccine, and countries like UAE are giving the third shot of this new recombinant vaccine. If you are interested to know more about the new Sinopharm vaccine, let me know in the comment. I will make a separate video on that. Let's now see some viral vector vaccines. In case of Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, Covishield or VaxZavria, the neutralization titer against Omicron increased by 2.7-fold 28 days after the third booster dose. In the same experiment, the authors saw that the neutralization titer increased by 34.2-fold after third shot of Pfizer-BioNTech. In this case, the primary shots were also of Pfizer-BioNTech. Now let's talk about another viral vector vaccine from Johnson & Johnson. It is a single-dose vaccine. The booster dose increased the vaccine effectiveness against hospitalization to 85% during the Omicron surge in South Africa. The booster dose was applied 6 to 9 months after the primary single dose. Interestingly, Johnson & Johnson vaccine did really good in South African population. Even the T-cell response increased after booster dose. When Johnson & Johnson booster was given after 2 doses of Pfizer-BioNTech, the neutralizing antibody increased 41 folds at 4 weeks after the booster dose. While when Pfizer booster was given after Pfizer primary 2 dose, it generated 17-fold increase in neutralizing antibody 4 weeks after the booster dose. In case of Johnson & Johnson vaccine, there was 5-fold increase in the T-cell against Omicron by 2 weeks post-boosting. And in case of Pfizer-BioNTech, it increased by 1.4-fold. So it seems apart from neutralizing antibody, T cells are also playing an important role as expected. From this study, it is also clear that in South African population, Johnson & Johnson booster after primary mRNA vaccine worked very good. So what can we conclude from all this data? Even after immune evasion by Omicron, the boosters are working pretty good against hospitalization and severe disease. Heterologous boosting, that is a booster of different vaccine from primary series, can give better protection. However, the protection against symptomatic infection is pretty low. Does this mean we need an updated vaccine for protection against Omicron? There is different school of thoughts among the scientists. Recently, an article said that animal boosted with original vaccine had similar level of protection against disease in the lungs that received an updated booster based on Omicron strain. The work was done with Moderna's licensed vaccine and a booster shot based on Omicron variant. Therefore, an Omicron boost may not provide greater immunity or protection compared to boost with current vaccine, the researchers concluded. So for the time being, please take your booster if you're eligible for it. And that's it for today, guys. Please let me know what topics you want me to cover next. Thank you.